not every day that you open to the screen and you just see that, you see that face with the applause. It just kind of could be a surprise to some people. Nonetheless, welcome to another episode of William versus the World. How's it going, everybody? It's Monday, and look, I'm on time. Oh, clappy thing, I'm on time. Yeah, guys. Welcome back to our journey through the music industry, daily and latest stories, ups and downs, and boy, there's been a lot of them over the weekend. The latest stories and ups and downs in the music industry on William versus the World. We're going to get into the world of music, embracing the industry news, technology, social media, and more, from the impact of big technology on the industry to the latest trends, innovations, and we'll explore it all. Grab your favorite device and let's get ready to dive into another episode of What the Fuck Is That? There's a dirt bike? We live in this. This isn't happening when I'm on the. We live in the city. Get ready for another episode of William versus the World! I know. Without the echo, it doesn't have the same flavor. How's it going? Hey, look who it is. It's my buddies. I got my buddy Sean in the house. I got my dog. Hans in the house. Appreciate you guys being here. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me change this image. You guys are probably wondering why I have this image up. We'll get to that in a minute. What the fuck? All right, so let's change it to a different image. There you go. That's Mike Shinoda. I've learned a lot about Mike in the last 24 hours. And here's the thing, like, when it comes to hard rock and heavy metal, I have to confess something to all of you. I didn't grow up on hard rock and heavy metal. Yep. I didn't grow up playing guitar. I didn't grow up listening to bands. One of my buddies growing up, his dad had a band down the street. And I remember looking at they had big mixing boards and consoles. And all I wanted to do is scratch on it like Dr. fucking Dre. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to rap, and I wanted to break dance and battle rap and stuff. So I didn't grow up playing guitars and shredding. So, and by the time I got into hard rock and heavy metal, I was kind of late to the party, man. So I think one of the first albums that I could admit to liking, I think I almost got jumped over it, was the Metallica Black Album. I love the Metallica Black Album. Do you? Who likes the Metallica Black Album? Well, I didn't know this getting into hard rock and heavy metal. Like, I didn't know that people didn't like it. I didn't know that it wasn't cool. I didn't know that it was. I don't know if people like it now or whatever, but it's one of the first rock and roll albums I could remember admitting to liking and not knowing why. It was many years later that I started to become a fan of hard rock and heavy metal. So I was introduced to bands like Korn. I was introduced to bands like Limp Bizkit and, of course, Linkin Park, even Disturbed and Evanescence. These are all bands that Melissa loves. Now, I'm older than Melissa, and she has more muscles than me. So the thing is I come from more of a traditional or old school or thrash metal background. Testament, Megadeth, and so Melissa comes from, Limp Bizkit and Korn and all of these bands. So when I met her, she liked bands like Limp Bizkit a lot, and she liked bands like I can't really say she liked them. I don't know if that's fair. Do you like them? She's not a huge fan. I take that. I take that. Okay, I'm sorry. That's why I didn't want to speak for you.
I do like Linkin Park, Korn,
Lincoln,
Disturbed,
as we say here in New England, Linkin Park,
Korn,
Korn, Disturbed,
Evanescence, of course.
Evanescence. You have to say it like you're from New England.
Yeah.
Korn, Linkin Park,
Who else do we have?
Disturbed, Evanescence. Who else do you like from that era?
New metal band.
New metal.
Um,
Okay, that's enough.
yeah, give me a minute.
We got it. And then she likes all kinds of other bands. So I skipped out on this era. By the time bands like Linkin Park came around, I can't really say for sure that I liked these bands. Now, it doesn't matter now. Try not to hyper focus on that, everybody. It doesn't matter what I like. Just like shit and be yourself. Slipknot. See how she said it like that? Like New England. It's fucking Slipknot. So I have a confession. I didn't like a lot of these bands, and I'm gonna tell you why. It's not because I'm a bad person. Well, maybe. But the thing is I didn't like these bands because how I was raised, it sounds a little tunnel vision and crazy. But the way that I grew up, I was not allowed to like certain type of rap music. It wasn't socially acceptable in my circle to like Linkin Park. Now you have to remember, I was a young person, okay? Young people, even when young people think they're confident and they know everything, right? It's easy for young people to be over or under ambitious at times. And, just as a musician or a musical mind, I hadn't grown. My ear hadn't been tuned to something like new metal or Linkin Park. Because when I thought of metal, I thought of like Testament, or I thought of bands that I grew up listening to or hearing on wrestling or other places that you would hear hard rock and heavy metal passively. I know. So I really wasn't like the style of rap music that you hear in Limp Bizkit or Linkin Park or POD, for instance. That's not something, when I was growing up, that wasn't really acceptable. That style and that approach to rapping would not have been welcomed in my group. So the problem I always had with new metal is it kind of sounded like terrible versions of the metal that I grew up with, and then really bad rap. So it's, you know what I mean? Because I grew up with like Testament, Megadeth, and bands like this, and then naturally, like, I grew up on like hardcore hip hop and like gritty New York street rap, and then I heard like Linkin Park, and I was like, oh. I was like, wow, that doesn't really sound like heavy metal to me, and it definitely doesn't sound like hip hop to me. So when I heard Linkin Park, I thought that that's what they were trying to do. I thought that they were trying to mix these things together. So I was like, here's a group of kids that are trying to do hip hop and trying to mix metal, and they have two versions of it, and they're doing it poorly and then trying to mash them together. That's what I misunderstood. Did anybody else misunderstand that? If you would have asked 1998 Will, if Mike Shinoda was a good rapper, I would have told you to go fuck yourself, 100%. Now here, I know what you're thinking. Wow, man, that was really harsh. No, hear me out. Compared to the fucking rap music that people listen today, Mike Shinoda's incredible. And not to mention the Jay-Z and Linkin Park, Jay-Z and Mike Shinoda combo was really something to bestow.
Freaking awesome.
Wow. Probably one of the best. I don't think I've ever seen a fusion of like authentic hip hop and hard rock come together on a stage and work so well. No computers and no silliness. A couple guys with some microphones. Great job. I think if the key takeaway is, I've never been a fan of Linkin Park. Melissa's a fan of Linkin Park. I've never been a Linkin Park fan until this week. Now I'm a Linkin Park fan. I'm a brand new Linkin Park fan. Can you believe that? It's taken me all of these years, and I'm not just a fan because of the new details of the band. Developing, and now, along with the new emerging details of the band, by all of the details and all of the things that have emerged about Linkin Park most recently, I've now become a fan of their old material too. Like, what do you think about that? It worked. Whatever
That's so freaking awesome.
it worked on me. Whatever they were, it worked. The rollout, the marketing, the whole bit. They did it. They did it. I was not a fan. Do you know how hard it is when you're in a band? You only have like one chance to make somebody a fan. And once people become a fan of your band, oh my God, if you do one thing wrong, they're going to fucking stab you in the fucking back. So trust me, I know how it is. Usually if people run into a beef with your band, or people have a misunderstanding, or people aren't completely satisfied with everything your band does, or you run into a confusion or a kerfuffle, immediately people abandon your band. And I will say that it is very hard for any band to make a connection or have an opportunity to make a connection like Linkin Park had an opportunity to make a connection with me when I was a young jitterbug. When I was a lot younger, Linkin Park had an opportunity to hit with me, and for all of those weird reasons, it wasn't the right time. You pass somebody in life. It could be the love of your life. It's just not time. You're just not ready for it. You're not ready for that relationship yet. So Linkin Park was supposed to pass William by. I mean, I've always appreciated them hitting notes and being able to sing and scream, and when their music is in the background. William likes everything. I kind of bop around to everything. I just like music in general. But you know what I mean? Linkin Park would not have been something I pull up on the jukebox or something I make a playlist with. But if it's on or somebody put it on, I bop around to it a little bit, But I was never a formal fan, ever. And even though my girlfriend is and has been for years, we've talked about the band throughout our years together, and Melissa maintains being a loyal fan of Linkin Park. I asked her the other day, I said, what do you think about the new Linkin Park stuff? And, I think it took her a minute, but, I take Melissa serious, and she went and watched a bunch of live performances, and she came back and she was like, I'm still a supporter of the band. I can't wait to see what else they do and how else they developed. When I asked Melissa about it, she said that she felt that they were still a new band and that she was optimistic, and she decided to root for them. That's what gave me the second look. I said, wow, okay. Huh. So it's not just that I became a fan of this new version of Linkin Park or anything like that. It truly is because I have had the opportunity to develop a relationship up into the emerging details. And then naturally, you got to look at the page. After you've seen all the details and the emerging things and stories that have been happening, naturally, I've become a fan of even their older music now. So it worked. Whatever they were doing, whatever the marketing scheme was, whatever the rollout was, and I say scheme, but whatever the lore, whatever the presentation that Mike had, he did a great job, and I'm really pumped up and optimistic about it. Let's take a look at this because all hell has breaking loose, and I don't see any of the crazy whack jobs in the comments today. I thought there were going to be some fun people in here. So maybe this will get it started. Mike Shinoda is, he says, it's so Lincoln Park. We'd be idiots to call it something else. In regards to the Lincoln Park name, I guess and after this, I promise, it's going to be a long time before we say the word Lincoln or park, unless of course we're going for a walk or a run, because we do have a nice park down the street. But this will be the final time that we talk about this. Thank God. Mike Shinoda says, it's so Lincoln Park, we'd be idiots to call it something else. In a new chat with Brian Haddad and Kenzie Roman, anybody know who the fuck that is? Of Chicago's Q101 radio station, Mike Shinoda said he feels it's not right to call the new band anything other than Lincoln Park. Quote, in the middle of the process, he says, we were open to like maybe the lineup is like a moving lineup. Maybe there's multiple vocalists. Maybe it's a different name, stuff like that, the rocker explained. Shinoda continued, quote, and then as the music came into focus, we were like, this is as Linkin Park as an album one could make. It's so Linkin Park that if we call it something else, we're idiots. Because it would be a misrepresentation. It would be silly. And when people hear more of the album, they're going to understand that, Mike says. Linkin Park is making music again 7 years later after Chester Bennington, well, he passed away. On September 5th, they announced that Emily Armstrong was the new singer. And let me just say for people that don't know, their first lead singer, he wasn't fired. So I think that's important for people who have never heard of this before. You can read up on the details of their previous singer. That's not what this is about. But I do want you guys to know that he wasn't fired from the band or asked to leave. I think that is important for the story. They also released a single called The Emptiness Machine and announced a new album from Zero coming on November 15th through Warner.
I pre-ordered mine.
I guess Melissa pre-ordered hers, which I think is something else. Okay. So there is the final Linkin Park update on the sepsis page. We had so many people commenting.
And I think it's great that they kept the name, personally. It still sounds like them, you know? Just a different singer. I can still hear it in the music.
So, but a few things I do want to just bring into context that people have to remember that to you know, if you're a fan or a consumer or a ticket goer or concert goer, I know that the artists protect you and would love for you guys to be comfortable believing that artists and musicians and performers get on stage because they love it and it's magic and it's romance and it's mythology and they're family and they love each other and it's a team and it's a club and it's a community, and all of these things are very true. But in order for those things to be true, bands are a business, you guys, you know? All of those things that I said are real. Bands are families and they are friends, and we hang out and we spend time together and we love our fans and we prioritize, and I say we, speaking for all musicians, from mild to wild, whether you're doing karaoke or you play in a bar band, or you're a little band or a small regional act, to the biggest bands in the world. We're all once small bands, and to every degree and every level, bands are businesses. Linkin Park is a business. Many people are going to be frozen in emotion and focused on the past without simply understanding that Linkin Park is a fucking business.
100%.
Hands down. Guitars cost money, gas costs money, managers, booking agents. And the fact is, you guys, no one in the comment section on social media was ever there to observe this girl, Emily, and whatever she did in her murky past. Like, whatever her murky past was, not me, not you, not the guys from Disturbed, none of us were around. None of us were physically present or around Emily during the events of her murky past or whatever is going on. And for the record, I have no clue. I apologize. I can't vouch or fight for it or say anything bad. I have no clue what Scientology is. You'll have to forgive me. I don't have religious fights on the internet. I don't know what it is. I'm not going to read about it because the Catholics had all kinds of crazy, scary scandals in the 80s. And, people still support them. And people still go to church, and we're not dragging them through the mud. All right? People have supported stupid stuff all throughout humanity, and then we come to find out differently, and we realize, wow, we've supported some pretty silly stuff in the past. You guys got to remember, the other thing is this Emily girl, I'm not vouching for her. I can't, like somebody said to me, that we were sympathizers or something like that. And it's like, I can't vouch for anybody. And more importantly, I don't have to vouch for Emily because she didn't commit any crimes. Like, I don't have to get her out of trouble. She didn't commit any crimes, and she's never been accused of a sex crime, or there's never been any arrest records, any receipts, any ledgers ever showing that she has been formally accused of abusing anyone. I mean, this just never has been. While no one is like vouching for somebody that they don't know, I don't know this person. I'm not condoning anyone's past activities. I'm also no angel myself, but I can't observe Emily. She seems qualified musically, and the band's future fans, they seem like they're ready to give her a chance. And that's whether you guys like it or not, Beyond any emotional internet commentary, can anybody in the chat show me any clear instances where the new lead singer of Linkin Park has been torturing people or abusing people herself? Has she ever been physically there? Have her words? Has her actions? Has any of her behaviors or circumstances or instances, have they ever been caught? Has anybody recorded her actually present, saying things or doing things to people that could be described as hurtful or abusive? I mean, because if we can't provide that, then shut the fuck up. Can you show me where she's been participating in activities where, I mean, because when I was 20, I participated in a lot of activities that you guys wouldn't have appreciated. I've been mean to people before, so you're going to drag people that support me? I've been to jail before. I've been to prison before. So you're going to drag people that support me? Needless to say, I want to make it clear that this lady also did not attend. There's no evidence or any observable material online that shows that she's been friends with the Danny guy after the court case. It looks like that she went to one court case. The guy was found guilty for a nasty crime, and it doesn't look like they were friends after that. I mean, you guys do got to realize people do get subpoenaed to court, and people show up. Some people show up to court for entertainment. Did you guys know that? I'm not saying that that's why she was there. But if you want to, you could go down to the district court and go to court. I mean, some people go to court. Imagine this, you fucking geniuses. Some people go to court so they can establish fact-finding truths in front of an organized, peer-reviewed setting. Did that ever occur? Not really. Okay, Ed just said something in here I think is so important. Ed said you need to get Melissa a microphone.
Well, we plan.
So she's not telling you this, but there's going to be, we're doing some different things. We're doing some different things soon. And we've been saying Melissa should just have a microphone just in somewhere, but we have a fun way we're going to be doing it. So that's all, guys. Like, that's what the process of court is for. That's why there's a, and can I just say for the record, it's not like I'm a big, it's not like I'm a big, believer or supporter of the United States justice system. I just have a little bit more faith in the justice system than somebody's feelings on Facebook. You get what I'm saying? I don't think that you can replace human beings. I don't think that you can replace human beings or human beings can try to replace each other. I don't think Emily's trying to be Chester. And she's made that clear. She's been vocal about that. I'm a stranger like anybody else, you guys. It takes hundreds of thousands of dollars to operate even an amateur band. I don't know if you know that, but Malcolm will tell you that. He's from Legion of Solace, and he's in the chat. One of our sponsors for Swarmy Fest coming up in November 2nd, and he'll tell you a thing or two about musicians and making an investment, whether that be like advertisements, and this is local bands, advertisements, music, gear, recordings, production, fees. People try to tell me bands aren't a business. Artwork, wardrobe, video, batteries, cables, copyrights, legal fees, subscriptions, distribution, booking agents. I mean, how is bands not a business? All bands do is buy all of these products so they can play music inside somebody else's business. Bands are businesses that bring in guests and generate value, encouraging people spending money inside the businesses that the bands are playing in. Bands are businesses. Yes, they're families. Yes, they're friends. Sometimes girlfriends and boyfriends. Sometimes they're like close friends or family. You see a lot of family bands. Bands are family. Bands are friends. Bands are clubs. But bands are businesses. I think the issue is that consumers and fans are having, let me put it to you this way. I think the issue is that fans of music and consumers, they think that we're having too much fun. They think that musicians are having too much fun because there's an image in society that musicians are having so much fun and that we're partying and making friends all the time, and people are cheering us. They're cheering us along in the audience section, and we're having so much fun that bands aren't a business. I think the music industry manufactures an image that bands are having so much fun that we have not invested ourselves. I think the image has designed a music industry to show and present to consumers. So you guys get in the habit and in the routine of believing that we're partying and having so much fun that we haven't invested ourselves. So you guys can be encouraged not to pay for the fucking music. Look. The bands are hosting the party and responsible along with the businesses to present fun for the customers and consumers, not the other way around. And as far as Chester, we in Sepsis have had bands that have chosen to walk away or abandon the project. We have had past band members in past versions of Sepsis that have abandoned the project and walked off of stage. Now, that shouldn't mean that Melissa should abandon her own career and not get new band members. Fuck is you talking about? Music and bands are a business, and Linkin Park is a business and a band headed into the future. Beyond all the emotional internet commentary, can you provide me a clear instance where this young woman was doing the event that everyone is describing? I would love to see an ongoing, observable collection of activities and evidence where after this guy was found guilty for his crimes, where she was participating with him, or she was supporting him, or she was condoning his activities. What are the behaviors? What are the real world circumstances and actions that show that she herself physically did things or participated in a way doing harmful things to other people? When? It's not too much to ask. What are the clear instances and activities that prove that she was acting out boldly, expressively, protecting abusive people? What are they? Many people will say that she is proudly and boldly, expressively condoning abusers. That's the big thing that people say, that's what they'll lead you to believe, that somehow that this lady is ongoing. She's been ongoing and consistently, I couldn't tell you about her religion or all these other things, but the big claim to fame, the big issue that everybody has is that somehow that she supports abusive people. And maybe that's the case. I'm not here. I'm not the judge. I'm not the jury. I can't vouch for some activities that I wasn't there for. And I can't get her out of trouble because she hasn't been committed of any crime. She hasn't even been accused of directly abusing anybody. She's been somebody said that she was a supporter of such things. So if my question to you is, if people say that she is so proudly and boldly, expressively supporting these people, where is the clear evidence of that? Can anybody show me that? Put it in the comments. If it's true that she is boldly protecting people, there should be a fucking mountain of evidence online that supports that. If she's the bad person that everybody is trying to make her out to be, there should be a mountain of evidence that supports that she's a terrible person and that she is indeed engaging in activities ongoing that supports that she is indeed a monster. If she is a monster, if she is actually supportive of dangerous, abusive people, if that's the claim, fine, let's go with it. Then there should be, it's 2024, there should be a mountain of clear and bold evidence that matches that she expresses that. Where is it? I'm sure she's made some bad decisions. And she could be a really terrible person for all I know. I mean, that's the truth. I don't know her. She could be a terrible person. But let's make sense of it beyond her going to a court case. What evidence do we have that shows that she boldly, publicly defends and supports abusive people? Where is the public evidence of her condoning and approving, supporting, abusing criminals constantly and expressively? Where is it? We currently have all kinds of celebrities, politicians, and rock stars who have actually been accused. We have politicians and rock stars and celebrities that have actually been convicted of sex offenses. We have big politicians right now that have been convicted of adjudicated sex offenders. But we don't hold them accountable. So in the end, we all try hard. And in the end, it doesn't really matter. That's all we got for it. There's no more to say about it. Unless anybody has some kind of new details, that's the end of it. That's the last time I'll talk about it. Hey, Gio. Salvatore. I didn't know all these people in here. What's up? Yeah, I got to hang out with Legion of Solace tonight. Hey, guys. Just for fun, a couple things that I want to go over just quickly because I think I'm going to do some stories tomorrow. I'll let this one sink in for a little bit. Those of you that are buying Swarmy Fest tickets this week, from now until Saturday, if you buy a Swarmy Fest ticket and you send me or the band members a screenshot, you can get one of these free t-shirts. And these are new t-shirts. Nobody has these. They're very, I noticed they're very, like, shiny. So I really like these. And I don't know if I have any staff members still in here. Of course I do. If I have any staff members in here, can you please tag my merch guy for me, please? So guys, these are made. If you're in a band, you're missing out. But these are so fucking awesome, and these are made by our very own sponsors, my merch guy. So definitely go check them out. Go like their page because I'm about to go on a sponsor bomb right now. They are UV bright, Gio. Gio, you're right. That's what it is. Yo, Gio, that's what it is. Yep. So, yeah, nobody got these. The only place these have been is Wisconsin. We've never had these shirts. These are called WSTs. And every year we make a new Star t-shirt. This is this year's Star t-shirt. And this is the one that we're giving away. If you guys know anybody that buys a Swarmy Fest ticket from now until Saturday, we send them one of these for free. So you want to be a part of that. You really do. You got the quarantine Malachi in the building. So yeah, just quickly, there's so much information that's developing about all of the shows. Let's not forget, if you guys want to come and hang out with us in Murder Monday, somebody tag Murder Monday in the chat. But if you guys want to come and hang out with us in Murder Monday, make sure you jump on down to Worcester at the Raven this Saturday. We're going to be down there kicking some ass and playing some heavy metal. Melissa, what time are doors? See, this is when she needs the thing. 7 o'clock. For Worcester. Oh, somebody's summoning me.
Let me check the flyer.
This is my guys. She's checking the flyer. Oh, man. This is so awesome. I love these guys.
Doors are at 8.
Oh, my God. I love you guys. I'm about to blow you up on the internet right now.
Doors are at 8. $7 cover.
Doors are at 8. $7 cover. That's for this. That is for this weekend. That's so dope. You guys are incredible. Thank you so much for helping me get the party started. I will be by the shop with Zach before our show. Worcester, this Saturday. So awesome. So but I can't, it's so tough to get to all of this stuff. It's crazy. Malcolm said he's running 3 pages at once. I'm like, I'm doing the same thing. I apologize. There's a lot going on. Um, so I got to do it. But New Hampshire guitars. I'm gonna slide over real quick because I gotta give. There's only one, you know. There's only one. New Hampshire guitars. I feel like I'm on like 1997 internet. I don't know what's going on right now. This doesn't normally happen. What the fuck is going on? Hans, did you do this? I don't know. Yo, that's crazy. I'm slightly embarrassed. Fucking internet's not working. So, guys, if you didn't know, Swarmy Fest is November 2nd. My gosh, there's just so much going on. I wish I could tell you guys what's happening at the after party. If the way that the after party develops actually winds up going the way that we hope, boy, am I going to be happy about that. And we are going to have a lot more people in VIP. Swarmy Fest, you guys, is brought to you by Matt Connarton Unleashed. If you guys don't know, it's easily my favorite talk show and radio show, local music show. It's every Saturday mornings. I think it starts at 9 o'clock from like 9 to 12. You guys can't miss it. It's on WMNH 95.3 and it's hosted by Matt Connarton. If you look at the screen, next to me, is that to the right or the left of me? To the right of me would be the guitar. So to the left of me, you'll see the right there. Wait, there. I just got to get used to it. Once I do it once, it's going to work. So right there, if you look, that's the logo. That's Matt Connarton Unleashed. Go check out. He's got a show kind of like this. It's much fancier than this. But you'll have to go check out him and Jenny every Saturday morning. They host bands. They host topics. They do deep dives and conversations. And they actually host bands outside of New England. So if you guys are in an independent band or you're trying to get your music out to New England, this is a great place to start, is at Matt Connarton Unleashed. Those of you that are traveling in and out of state and you are looking for somebody to link up with, I don't think it gets passed around enough when you're in a metal band or rock and roll band and you're like, man, I'd really like to get a show in New Hampshire. I'd really like to get a show in Boston. I'd really like to get a show in Worcester. How do you go about that? Who do you get started with? How do you get the conversation going? Guys, Speed Demon Promotions. Go look up Speed Demon Promotions on Facebook. Go give them a follow. Those are my guys. Josh is over there, and he'll help you guys get hooked up, plugged in with them. They got a whole bunch of shows and things that they'll be working on. They are also working with us. Not to mention on Swarmy Fest, they're also doing the Speed Demon. This is their relaunch. This is their relaunch party this Saturday. So that's what this Saturday is all about. So that's one thing you could do is come out and hang out with me and Josh and talk about Speed Demon and what we're going to be doing. So if you're a promoter or you're in a band, this is a great way to start networking already. Come and hang out with us at the show in Worcester this Saturday. Come and hang with me and Josh from Speed Demon and get talking about what we're doing. Also, let's not forget one of our main players and main slayers on the bill is Legion of Solace. Now, when I talk about Legion of Solace, you guys already know what it is. Legion of Solace is a Swarmy Fest family member. So there's some people that that sponsor the shows and come and kick butt with us, but Legion of Solace has been here from day one, ever since we built Swarmy Fest, and they've been here with us all along the way, supporting independent bands and connecting the dots all over New England. They're another group and music collective of people that they don't just rub elbows. They travel, they come out, and they host the shows along with the bands. They show up, they bring people. I'm not even gonna lie. I wouldn't ask him, but I've seen an amplifier move around once or twice too. I ain't gonna lie. Malcolm's looking at me like, don't you even think about it. Don't you even think about it. And guys, let's not forget my good friends at NH Guitars. I'm so happy. Anytime that I can go to New Hampshire Guitars, you know, I get excited. Let me get my hat. Yeah, so I'm so happy. If you go over to NH Guitars, please go to their website. Please, 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 whatever you do, just go give them a visit. And then if you're really lucky, you can come and hang out with me this Saturday because I'm going to go over to New Hampshire Guitars with Zachy B, and we're going to go shoot a commercial with Sepsis at New Hampshire Guitars this Saturday. And maybe we can ask Zachy B to play the guitar. Yo, maybe the homie Bill's there and he'll play my guitar. That's always a pleasure. But we're going to go down there and hang with Paul. So you don't want to miss it out. The last time that New Hampshire Guitars came to Swarmy Fest, they brought guitars with them. It was cool. Like if anybody would have broke a guitar, they would have had guitars like there. But you guys, I got to tell you a story about NH Guitars before moving on. You guys know that we only use head rush amplifiers in Sepsis, and you know it's new technology. And I mean, I couldn't tell you how to fix a toaster, so I called around to a lot of places in the area to see who could fix my head rush amplifier. I mean, because it's like having a computer inside of a pedal board. You know, people don't really want to touch them. We had to go to Rockfest in Wisconsin to play a show supporting Jelly Roll and Mice of Men. It was crazy. I was blown away. But I wasn't blown away with the fact that my $3,000 pedal board was missing a stomp pedal. And frankly, I couldn't find anyone who was willing to open this thing up. I couldn't find anyone who had the courage to get inside this thing and fix it. But New Hampshire Guitars from Wyndham took on the job. Yo, no bullshit. They fixed the amp in record time. The turnaround was less than 2 weeks, and I had my amplifier back in my hands, ready to get on the plane and perform at the show with Jelly Roll. So that's why I would get down to Wyndham, New Hampshire, and check out Wyndham Guitars. I really would. I really would. They're fun people to hang out with. You go down there. You don't have to put up with the fussy Guitar Center amateurs. But don't worry. They've got lessons. They've got all levels of guitars and gear. They have friendly staff. And they also have this really cool Guitar Tech subscription package where you pay them a set fee and you can come back during the year and get your guitar teched for a reduced price. It's really snappy. It's really fun. Head down to Wyndham, New Hampshire, and check out Paul and New Hampshire Guitars. Yep. And last but not least, you guys have fucked up everything not playing with BPS. BPS Records is coming with us November 2nd, along with ICG Sean, to Swarmy Fest. Swarmy Fest 2 is going to be held in Lowell this week at the Tafeta. I know I say that a lot, and I say Tafeta. Everyone's making me funny saying that. Like, I'm not crazy. The reason why I say that is because we used to play at a place. Sometimes we play at a place called The Fet. That's not the place. That's in Rhode Island. That's a different place. The place that Swarmy Fest is in Lowell, and it's at Tafeta. That's why I say it like that. It's not because I'm crazy. I promise you. Well, Melissa's yawning, but I'm hoping to have some information soon about an upgrade that we're having at this after party. And as you know, the after party is going to be presented by myself and BPS Records, and we have something really special this year that we're hoping to do. It's still early in the game. I was a couple weeks behind getting advertisements started on Swarmy Fest, so please give us a little bit of time to catch up. and I got to meet with everybody. There's nothing but action-packed news happening right now. Get down to the Speed Demon relaunch party in Worcester. Come and hang out with us and Murder Monday and my homie Josh from Speed Demon. That's at the Raven this Saturday in Worcester. We'll be there for that. And I love you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. And I'll see you tomorrow for another episode of William versus the World.